80% of my business comes from the real estate industry, meaning realtors and mortgage reps, loan officers, stuff like that. And the reason why is that when someone goes to buy a house, they're required to have flood insurance, and I'm the flood insurance expert. And it's a lot harder to sell a house that's $4,000 flood insurance premium than it is $1,000 flood insurance premium, because the flood insurance gets tacked into the mortgage. And, $4,000 is like $400 a month that's tacked onto the mortgage, as opposed to $1,000 that's only $100. Right. So for that example, the basement, we would have to get creative. And what I mean by that is I would do two things. So if I was working with the listing agent, meaning the real estate agent who put the property up for sale, they would reach out to me and say, hey, Tyler, I'm putting 100 Beach Ave, Cape May, New Jersey for sale. Let's get flood insurance situated so that when a buyer comes in, they don't get scared away. And why I say that is they're going to look at it. First question is going to be, what's the flood insurance? They're going to find out from an insurance agent that it's $4,000 a year. And then they're going to say, we don't want this house. So we get ahead of it by saying, there's two things you can do. One, if you do these things to the house, it'll bring the insurance down to here. Maybe the seller wants to do them things, or maybe the buyer wants to do them or put it into the contract to get the flood insurance, lowered. Or two, there's a thing called private flood insurance. Private flood insurance is basically, like I said before, the same as risk rating 2.0 is going to be, where they're taking like 100 things into account and they're going to say, this is what the rate would be, but they're able to accept and decline properties. Why that's a good thing is if they decline it, they're not taking it on, they're not taking that risk on. If they accept it though, they have a smaller risk pool, so they're able to give a cheaper premium. Generally it's 20 to 50% cheaper than the government. Okay. So in that, I would run it because I have the most private carriers really in the country. I have 12 to 15 different ones. I would run it through all of them. If I can get one through that, it's generally 20 to 50% cheaper than the government. And that could be an option as well if they don't want to do the changes to the house. So that's like what I would do if a realtor reached out. Like I probably have 3 realtors right now that I got to do stuff for. And that's what I would do so that when the buyer comes in, they see we have options and, we can make the transaction smooth throughout the real estate.